Well, as you can see, the name on the side of this airplane says Willie. And that's because it's Jack Tatum's Willie Waco. As I always say when Jack flies this, I say, the Waco from Waco flying his Waco. Now, Jack has had this plane for, gosh, pretty long time. And if you look close, it does have a little few rash spots on it from use, as all airplanes do, whether they're RC or full scale. But she's really a good flyer, and there's something unique about this engine. It's a Magnum
80.
Magnum 80, and when you hear this run a little bit later, we'll fire it up, and Jack wants to get some video of her starting and flying. A friend of his down in Florida wants to hear it as an old Navy Airedale, which is the air portion of the Navy. Mechanic, and he wants to hear this engine run. It's just a stock, if you will, Magnum 80 four-stroke glow engine. But wait till you hear this thing run. It sounds so realistic, particularly in a biplane like that. Jack had it in a couple other planes, and we always commented every time he flew, it kind of sounds like an old washing machine Jenny clunking around or something. And we haven't a clue what caused it. The engine runs great. Everybody's looked at it to try to find something wrong. What's making that funny noise? And it's just something with the engine. I don't know. But when you hear it run, you'll understand. Anything you want to talk about the airplane, Jack?
No, it's just well, there's one little thing. I had an oral surgeon by the name of Arden Velasic, and he had a UPF-7, and he took me out to Shelbyville Airport and gave me a check ride, let me have the stick in my hand, which was a big thrill. And we flew over the Golden Gate, and it was wow. So, I don't know where Arden, I think he went up to Grass Valley, but anyways, whatever, I was so impressed with that and that flight that I built a control line plane just exactly like his, scale to his airplane.
Wow.
And I flew it for a year in competition, and then I gave it to him.
Wow, that's kind of cool, yeah.
But
yeah.
I haven't heard from him. But the minute I found this little ARF kit, and I decided that I was going to name this one Willie.
In his memory, yeah, it's a beautiful airplane it is. And
but I was talking to Richard Hayes, who lives in Florida, and we were talking about this engine, and I told him, you got to hear this thing. So I decided that it would be good thing to have a little video of this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's extremely unique, and I've never heard, all my years in fooling with RC airplanes, I've never heard an engine that sounds just like this engine. I wish we could figure out what makes that noise, because if you could build an engine that sounded like that, you'd sell them by the bucketful.
It's like
you would sell them by the millions.
It's like putting playing cards in your bicycle.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, the bearings are good. Everything's good. The engine sound. It just for some reason has a unique exhaust and note. And you'll hear when we fires it up here after these other guys are landed here pretty soon. And but it's just a unique sounding engine, and really appropriate to be in that old Waco biplane there.
Oh, it sounds like an old Waco.
It does. Okay. Well. Okay, Captain Jack says he's ready.
We do have the Waco up. That's good.
Got the proper airplane selected in his computer radio. The beauty about the new radios is that you can have multiple airplanes fly like 8 or 10 model memory, and all your trims and all your settings and control throws and whatnot can be set for individual airplanes. But the downside is you got to remember to have the right airplane dialed in. So there have been crashes by a guy trying to fly an airplane with some other programming for a different airplane, and maybe a control is backwards, and there you go. You know what happens then. Okay, I'll get out in front of Jack here. See what I mean about that engine, that really unique sound. say, if a guy could make engines make that sound like that, you could sell them. You could sell 1 million of them. You'd be a rich man. And we've looked the engine over, looking for something wrong with it, and everything's fine. Bearings are good, the valves are good, valve lash is good, and it just has a unique sound. They don't make that engine anymore, unfortunately. Back over here out of Jack's way. Captain Jack and his Waco. The Waco from Waco flying his Waco. Actually, the Waco from Clear Lake flying his Waco. Jackson get mad at me. Just a little bit of a zoom in here.
Taking off, left to right.
Okay. Cameraman is ready. And there she goes. Hopefully his turn will put Mount Canocti in the picture. No, he's too high now. God, that engine sounds so cool. I hope the recorder picks up the... Okay, I just lost you. There you are. And one of those passes, Jack, if you can fly just above the top of Mount Canocti so I can get the mountain and the...
Try. That's where I'm coming.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a nice picture. I get down there and I lose it. There you are. Yeah, that'll be a good one here. It's still here now.
Any good?
Nope.
Okay.
A little lower. If you, I mean, don't do something you don't want to do. But no, I'm zoomed in a little, and it restricts the field of view. So you need to be a little bit.
Okay.
I got just the tip of the mountain right there now.
Okay.
In that shot. So if you can be just a little bit lower than that was compared to the mountain.
Okay, come on, baby.
I say don't do anything you don't want to do. There should be some good video though over. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one there. Oh yeah. Good one, Jack. Perfect. Okay, there you are. Okay, I got you. Okay, Jack's going to be landing from our left, from the west. Dead calm at the moment. Comes that big old biplane in. And she's on her feet. All right. Good landing, Jack. Good landing. Now, when you taxi back over and shut it down, why don't you hold it in front of you, and I'll get you a picture of a big grin on your face, and that'll be good. Good flight by the Waco from Waco. Flying his Waco. That's a beautiful airplane in here, and it's so cool. I mean, that is. If you could duplicate that, you'd sell 1 million of them. They sell sound systems now that duplicate engine sounds, you know. But that engine does it all on its own. Listen to that. It sounds like a multi-cylinder old something. Okay. Well, Jack's going to pick it up and give me a big grin. And
that's nice.
Does that engine sound cool?
Oh, it sounds really cool. What size is that?
It's
80, Magnum 80, 4-cycle.
But they got that really interesting note when it's running.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially when you pull the power back and just fly.
Okay, there's Jack and his Waco with that unique sounded engine. And this is for you, buddy, down in Melbourne, Florida.
Right.
All right.
Richard.